Hey guys, welcome to Fazz Radio. Let's get started. This is Fazz Radio Live, and there's no one here yet because we haven't told anybody about it yet. So I'm going to copy this into CryptoFaz Academy and send it. Only the people that go back and listen to this after the fact will hear this, but then it won't be live. All right. Let's see here. How do I do this again? What room do we announce this in? Channel?
Yeah. So I think we were doing it in the live stream room under server.
Oh, under server. Okay, my thingy, my bobber wasn't showing all of its stuff. I wonder if everybody will see this.
I don't know if you do.
I'll do it in both.
Everyone.
I'll start this.
And then Gala stuff and everything else, and that way maybe
everyone.
they'll know.
Fazz. The Fazz. Live.
The Fazz. Now you are the Fazz. The Fazz man.
Have a listen. Send now. In fact, I'll publish. I'm going to pop this into the announcements also. This is where we actually talk back to people. Oh, so let me get the YouTube link. Do you have the YouTube link?
Top of my head. No, you usually do that. You don't like when I blast people. It makes you nervous.
Oh, I better. Okay, I have YouTube open so I can see chats. And let me paste YouTube into your chat because we talk about people behind the scenes when we're recording. But we don't say anything bad.
Wow, the announcement just went out. I thought you hit that a few seconds
I did a little while ago.
Okay.
I heard a dink dink. What did? Am I inviting them to the actual broadcast?
You are.
Sure. Okay. Well, that's new. Let's try that.
How many gummies did you have today?
I don't know. we got. This is our first time. We have 2 users on the stream on Fazz Radio. Hi guys.
Hi there.
We have no idea what we're doing. I was intending for people to listen, but then I sent you guys the actual link that we use. But that's cool. We can do this.
Join in the conversation. It'll be the first time we've ever done it with without a guest ahead of time.
With other people.
That's all right. I'll keep my mic muted.
Okay. Well, you can.
You can join in anytime you want. Who do we have in there? I can't see that.
It looks like Repti and what's this? Kamibami 2.
Hey, cool.
So let's see who else joins. Anyway, we can get talking though. So obviously, I was trying. Titan and I were trying to actually talk less about Gala recently, just because CryptoFaz Academy is about all sorts of crypto. But then Gala had their little thing this weekend, and there's a lot of new news, and we probably should say something about it.
Oh, absolutely. I thought that this whole event was going to be along the lines of typical Gala stuff where it's a lot of hype and no substance. And boy, was I wrong. Some of the stuff that they had come out with just blew me away. And I find it, my first question, we have a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot. We have a couple private channels in here for groups of people that we converse with. And my first question in one of the groups was, are they getting too big too fast? Because it sounds like they are really, really having some huge partnerships, some huge wins. And that's I think my biggest concern at this point, other than them figuring out how to get their store to work right.
Really? I've been with well, I've been buying Gala and paying very close attention to them since last year around September, August, September. And at various points, I thought they were getting big, too fast. I think they've been holding all this stuff, waiting to kind of release it all at once. However, you know, there's a lot of hype going on right now, and I don't even know if I could have gone to that party because that would have just stressed me out with all that hype going on. It's just hype porn going on right now. I don't know how has anybody been there, or you guys all on the outside?
I haven't gone.
Oh, nobody's gone. That's okay.
I was hoping to see some streaming or something though.
You haven't been following the streaming? We have a stream pinned in the Gala stuff room in CryptoFaz. It's kind of nice. There's this one Asian lady who's been walking around every single breakout room and every single area. It feels like I've actually been there. She walks up to the tables where they're playing Mirandus and the bar and everything. I think talking to various people.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. That's the one I've been watching. Her name is Michelle, I think. I put the link up a little while ago in either Gala Stuff or Gala Gold, one of the two, because she started going live again. She was streaming Kings of Leon live, and I guess Snoop Dogg is going to be performing very soon.
So, they do have a lot of stuff going on, and I have a different concern besides are they growing too big too fast? What's really worrying me is, I don't mind hearing about Echoes of Empire because that's something new we haven't heard of, and I don't even mind of hearing of the guy who did SimCity, Will Wright, joining on because he's not like adapting SimCity to an NFT project. He's doing a new thing. What worries me actually is that Walking Dead thing that we've seen on those streams, and the reason it worries me is because it's successful, and every time I've heard recently of some sort of property doing some kind of crypto NFT thing, they get inundated with gamer fans just tearing them a new butthole over this, thinking NFTs are a scam and so on. And that kind of worries me about the bad press that I bet is going to come. Quote me.
Well, they're really going to have to get their act together very quickly. And we talked about this right after the Coinbase listing as well, because there's going to be a lot of eyes focused on this whole arena. I mean, a lot of these other play to earn games that we've been looking at and researching. Wait, I got to turn the football game mute on because I can hear that even through my headphones. A lot of these other projects that we look at, hopefully finding the new Gala, they're nowhere close, not even remotely close to the level of where Gala is, which tells me that being 5 steps ahead like they are, this is going to be an amazing ride. And I really think that as they continue to grow, they're going to hit just as many speed bumps with each iteration that comes out. Everything, if you notice, everything that they've done, like they've leaked or peaked or whatever you want to call it in the past, looks fantastic on their screens with the leak. And then there's a hiccup or two when it actually goes live. And one of the things that Fazz has taught me through my whole adventure here with Gala is with all the complaining that I do about the problems that come up, he always said, hey, they're still kind of new and there's going to be hiccups along the way, but they're going to get better as time goes on. And for a while they didn't, but they have lately. And a lot of my skepticism about whether or not they would actually make it is waning quite a bit lately. It really has surprised me how quickly they've got their act together on a lot of things. I know the store still has way too many issues, and especially when you're messing with people's money like this, you've got to get on that. That has to be their top priority, is to get that part fixed, because you don't want to mess with people's money. I mean, you can take a day's delay in getting something maybe, and that's not such a big deal. But when people are throwing, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of ETH at your store, it's got to be right. So I think that with this and all the press that's going to come out over the next week, they are really, really going to have to get their act together on that store very quickly.
You think that additional press is actually going to make a difference? Well, so far I haven't seen the price really move at all of Gala or Town. And I expected it to go up with all this. People are saying, well, you have to wait for it to filter out into the mainstream and stuff. Looks like we have some questions, though. So let's get to those. Let's see. Gustavo says, what do you guys think of all the NFTs being released so far? That's awesome. I like the idea of releasing NFTs for each of the different games that have come out. I've personally put quite a bit into Mirandus, and I bought some Townstar NFTs. And the play to earn aspect is a lot cooler than it sounds, because those NFTs in Townstar that I have, they generate income, they generate Town. So every day that I use them, I get Town in my wallet, and Town right now is going for 87 cents. So, you can cash that, you could send it to an exchange and cash it in right away, trade it for another crypto or whatever. So that stuff is real, and I don't think people are really understanding or really getting it. And I think once they do, there's just the stampede is coming. And we think that there's been a stampede so far, but no, it's not here yet. Go ahead, Titan. I figure you might have something to comment on all the NFTs.
Well, I have a lot to comment on with the NFTs. I think that it has been interesting with these last minute. I didn't expect so many to drop. I've been doing NFTs for a while, and they've frustrated me. I had a great conversation, I want to say last night, maybe it was Friday night, talking about the purpose for the NFTs. Some people buy them to flip them. Some people buy them to use them, and everybody likes to talk about ROI and things like that. NFTs are designed by Gala and by most of the P2E gaming to be used in the game. So if you're not going to play the game, it doesn't usually make a lot of sense to go into these. And the ROI from Gala, it's been figured out mathematically. They try and shoot for about 200 days ROI on that. Now, you've also got to take into consideration taxes for the cells. We had a great conversation today with a couple people in the CFA tax room about how some of that walks through. So you might want to take a peek at that. But it's designed to earn that way. And once you've earned enough to wet your whistle, you can then sell it. And so far, most of the NFTs have appreciated in value, which means you then make a profit at the end as well, which is a nice thing. It's never going to end. And Fazz, I know you have introduced me to this whole NFT thing. You were further along than I was when we got into this Gala thing here. And the concept for me, I wasn't getting it. And once I started going into it and started playing around with these things and buying them and trading them and selling them and using them, it's really something amazing. And until you get to that point, when you realize it for yourself, what these things actually are, you open your eyes and you realize this is this is something that's more amazing than it sounds on the surface.
Well, and this is the very, 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 very beginning of a play to earn concept. Can you imagine later on a play to earn concept could actually be changed to doing actual work tasks? Things that somebody might need done, and with the reward structure, which is, say, if somebody goes and does this work online for me, if they draw a picture or write a song and post this, we'll just pay you. And then they provide perhaps an application to do that. So maybe somebody who provides a Photoshop application says, we need a logo for our Photoshop application. If you submit something, you'll get X amount of photo coin. And if we pick it, then you get X more of photo coin. And so you can gamify work with this stuff. This is what I'm seeing with pay to earn. Right now, yeah, it's just play to earn, not pay to earn. But actually, I will say, and we need to be honest, there is a pay to earn aspect of this because these NFTs are not cheap. They're expensive, and I know one way that they're dealing with that is they've come up with a rental mechanic where those who purchased expensive. Oh, fire alarm! What the hell?
Heads up.
You talk. Go ahead and talk, Titan. Are you there, Titan?
I was on mute.
Go
I
for
do
it.
that.
I got to go investigate something.
Yeah, right. I was on mute. I apologize. That's why these regular shows sound so amazing. We cut all this stuff out when we leave ourselves on mute and laugh about our stupidity. Tivo. So Faz and I have talked about that aspect of the NFTs with being so expensive. If you go back a couple of months, we had, I think he put it out. He and I, Faz and I, really went to town about how I gave a lot of pushback, saying how expensive this in-game economy is going to be. All right. There's like in Miranda's, there's going to be, if you own a tavern, right? If you scrounged up the cash to get a tavern, you're going to have to pay for your supplies. So you're going to have to pay the farmers to supply your hops. And I'm sure you'll have to pay a water bill or pay someone to get your water to make the ale. And then you're going to have to pay rent to the landowner where you're putting that, and that person's going to have to pay their village, that person's going to have to pay their citadel. So it's only going to get more expensive. And we had a huge discussion on this. My blood pressure was through the roof. I know Mal and a few other people always get a big kick out of when Faz gets me all riled up, but the cost of the NFTs is prohibitive in a lot of cases. I think you're going to see that Gala will eventually figure it out, though. One of the big aspects is the NFT rental part. We saw some of that from the streams today. It looks like an OpenSea interface. It looks like an OpenSea UI, and with that, I guess you're going to be able to instantly rent from those who put the rentable ones there. So it's going to be pretty interesting how this all comes out. A lot of the well, I shouldn't put it that way. A lot of the earn portion of it, let me put it this way. A lot of the earn portion is going to take work, and I don't think a lot of people were prepared for that. I think people thought, "Oh, I have this NFT, I just drop it in a game and I'm making bank and I can go retire." Well, no, I mean you have to play the game. You're investing not only money, but you're investing time. So that's something that you have to consider as well.
Typing in chat here, I see Gustavo was saying something about Gala can't seem to handle customers' complaints and criticisms or suggestions. And talking about customer service, you and I have talked about this whole thing before with I call it
Gustavo,
messaging.
I literally have a folder on my computer. All right. And that folder is labeled My Gala Experience is the name of the folder. And I'm not even joking with you. I have over 600 screenshots of the stupidity that was spewed by people with colored names in the Gala server. All right. They have gotten better, believe it or not. I don't know how long you've been around, Gustavo, but they've gotten better. I have one screenshot where Benefactor went off on somebody, and I was flabbergasted that a company officer would talk to anybody like that, let alone a customer. So Fazz and I go back about 30 years. And as much as I hate to admit it, a lot of the times he's right. God, it hurts to even say that.
Can you say that again? I didn't hear that.
Nice try. So he had told me, he said, when you have community involvement and you're telling players or community members that they have a say in it, what generally tends to happen is people think they're then shareholders or employees of the company, and they will then have these entitlement attitudes or expectations that whatever they say, Gala's going to do. And there has to be a balance there in between what that means. The marketing and the way that they put that out there, Gala has to own it. A lot of this they brought on themselves by the phrasing they used, and the phrasing they continue to use in a lot of cases with the community involvement and node voting and everything else, because we can go back to the Shooty Booms fiasco, where they had to take the vote off of the nodes because they were going to name spider tanks Shooty Booms, and they're like, well, no, we're not doing that. So they went to a Google spreadsheet instead. So okay, that was complete crap, but that's the problem that they have. So they have to balance that a little bit.
Well, can I jump in here a little bit?
Of course.
Yeah, I get it. What I like to say is they have new company issues, in my opinion. They also have startup issues. Startups are really new at the messaging area, and these guys in particular happen to be a startup of people that are fairly experienced. I know Eric Schirmeyer has done this. This isn't his first rodeo. He's done this before with other companies. He's probably, I believe he's been VC for a few different companies. So he's done this before, and I get a sense of ownership from him saying, okay, this is my company. We're going to do our company the way we should. I kind of agree with that because, it's his company. So he's going to be, he's being as honest as you or me. If you come in the room and you start saying something to me, I'm going to tell you how I feel. People start getting bent out of shape because they say, hey, you're not supposed to talk to me like that. Like, I don't know, like you went to a store and you bought something from him, and he's supposed to be nice to you because, because you bought Gala, all of a sudden he's supposed to pander to you. No, he didn't sell you Gala. You got it from BitTrue or from Uniswap. He didn't get it from him. So he's not going to act like a typical store person and try to get your business. He might try to be nicer in regards to those NFTs that he's selling you, but not Gala. And I'm going to be fair. They are telling people to go screw themselves on their Discord. I've seen it. But at the same time, people are telling them to go screw themselves. And you get what you pay for. Go ahead, tear me apart, Titan.
No, so again, they've got, so what they did, instead of being rude, they just started bringing out the band hammer and really just kicking people out and giving them a cool off period and everything else. I think it's really cool that they let people back on after they cool off. But I totally see why people fly off the handle. This is real money. I mean, there are people out there and people we know from CFA and everything else that, hey, this is the only $1,000 they have, and they scrounged it up over 4 weeks to be able to jump in and get an NFT, and they oversell it. The store breaks, they lose their gala, they lose their gala power, and then you got some yo-yo with a colored name in the gala server that comes on with no empathy whatsoever and says, hey, it is what it is, deal with it. That just inflames it. Okay, so I've been there, I've done it. I don't even talk in the gala server anymore. I just read.
And I agree, that's a bad idea to just go in there and say, deal with it, people.
Right.
Now, admittedly, and I'm going to be fair here, Eric and moderators, they don't come out swinging. What happens is people start coming at them. This is a load of shit. This is crap. What the fuck you guys doing? You know how much money I wasted? And they're like, okay, put your, figure yourself out. Come on. Keep your shirt on. And I can see from their point why they're saying that. And I can certainly see why people who just blown a whole bunch of money off of something that they thought that they would get, they feel rightfully so that Gala needs to answer for this. I get the sense there's still some figuring out as to where they sit, because if Gala starts taking responsibility for certain things, I think it might make something look like a security.
Yeah, they're doing that. I fear, and we've done this on Fazz Radio before. For those of you listening, go back and listen to these old Fazz radios. A lot of this stuff that we're still talking about today, Fazz and I have duked it out on a lot of those with the back and forths. But we try and do things a little different on CFA, and we also want to help people not only learn crypto, but understand how this is shaking out, because it is brand new, 100% brand new. With these sales going, sideways and glitches happening. I used to privately lambaste Fazz for, I thought it was this big nefarious plot. I'm like, they're just collecting the money. They don't give a shit about the people and yada, yada, yada. And I understand it a little bit better now that I've experienced it for a while. It really isn't anything they're doing on purpose. And I know sometimes it looks like it. And I was totally on that side of the fence for a long time. But the more I look at it, like, Bitbender, you can have issues with him at times, but he's never lied. And when the groups were talking with him right before this last Vox drop, he was 100% confident that this Vox sale was going to go through without a glitch. And I believed him. And so when it went sideways, I was at work. I had to be somewhere, and I'm standing there. I stayed after, and I was like, oh my God, the store crashes, and I'm like, holy crap, I can't even stay here. Now I'm not going to get one. So I had to leave. And I know it isn't a purposeful thing. They tested it. They thought they had it right, and something went wrong. And each time they've done this, they've gotten better. So I do think they need to make that their top priority going forward.
Well, NBA Top Shots had this exact same problem, and they eventually came up with this queuing system, which sucks, to be honest, but it keeps things from crashing. And I don't know. The part of the problem that I can see also is Gala has this thing where they hype, and then it gets everybody all lathered up, and then it's like, okay, it's going to be this time at 5 p.m. Pacific. Here it goes. It's going to go live right now. And then shit breaks, shit falls apart, and then it's radio silence. People are like, what's going on? Is it there? Shit, it's all sold out. What the fuck? And then, it's like, what the hell just happened? In fact, I can tell you there was a sale today for the legend game, whatever, with the populist guy who made it.
Right.
I was waiting for that one at 3:00, and I think
Legacy.
it sold out. Legacy, there you go. And I think it sold out in like 30 seconds because I didn't have my password ready. I saw it pop up. I clicked it. I was probably one of the first people to do it. And then, oh shit, I didn't have my password. And I actually had to go into LastPass and get it, which I should have had it on my clipboard, but I didn't. And it took me 15 seconds. By the time I hit send, it said out of stock. Everything was out of stock. And this wasn't even a highly anticipated drop.
Right.
So, yeah, they need to solve these things, and I'm not going to burn them for it. I'm just going to say this is a nice problem to have, but I do agree with the people that say this is fucked up, and it needs to be known. And I think that Gala Games should take it in stride. The only complicating factor here is they have a Discord. They can talk with people right away. They can get their initial responses, and everybody's initial response is to treat Discord like Twitter. Fuck you, fuck what you're doing, fuck all this, and their Gala is just punching back. So I don't know how you solve that, because personally, if I were to have been the one running the drop, I probably would not be paying attention to the Discord. I'd be like, this is just going to go. If we have trouble, it's going to stop. And you can't change directions with a drop halfway through because of what people are saying on the Discord. You can't even do it maybe hours beforehand because you got to plan all this stuff out. You got to plan all the people to press the buttons on the computers and so on. So I think people in Discord have an idea that they can be heard 5 minutes beforehand and say, stop, this is breaking, stop that. No, the people who are actually doing the stuff aren't looking at the Discord. So I don't know. They need a better way to do it, to do these drops. And the way they're doing it with this Discord is a bit janky.
Well, I'm watching the stream here in the StreamYard, and Gustavo, you sound like you're me. I bring up the exact same stuff, and also Cryptotic. I'm gonna talk about the two things that you talk about, because we've had these conversations in back channels now over the last week or so. So I agree with both of you on that with the quantities. So I'm torn between having a limit and not having a limit on how many of the NFTs a person can buy. Because you end up penalizing one group or the other. Okay. And you do have, and I hate it because I don't want to sound like a snob, but you have people that had put a substantial amount of money into Gala very early, and they've waited for a year to finally be able to do something with the Gala. They've struggled through a lot of things. They should be able to wet their beak a little bit, in my opinion. But I also agree that the average person who wants to have something should have it. So that's really what this boils down to, is the supply problem, which is what Cryptotic is talking about. There's 40,000 node owners, yes, but not really. So real node owners, meaning people like you and me, there's probably somewhere between 25 and 30,000. Gala Games and some of the original owners and co-founders and things like that have a giant stack of nodes, but they've promised not to turn them on. at the moment to let the community receive the rewards on that. So, but yeah, I mean, 888 for even 20,000 people, that's crazy. All right. A total supply of 8,888, not even close to enough for the community.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Is okay, fine, they're putting out NFTs, but these incredibly small amounts. Why don't, well, I mean, I can come up with a billion ideas, like make more and then just make it so that you have various levels instead of what, 8,888 boxes. They're going to sell out like that because what, isn't there 100,000 people on their Discord or something? So,
Yeah,
oh my God.
there's way too many people trying to buy them. And
So,
and that was my idea, yeah, to have 3 releases, and the rarity just, goes down a little bit for each. Obviously, if you get a second or third tier, it's not going to be as lucrative as first tier.
it's hard to make those drops fair because then you have other things that get in the way, like, I don't know, the Ethereum blockchain, gas, congestion, web servers, and so actually I'd have to go back to the NBA Top Shot method again. That seems to feel the most fair, but it's a pain in the ass to do. You get in there and then you wait your turn, and then I think you have to hit okay, jump in, because if you don't hit the button, if you're not sitting around like an idiot for an hour waiting for your turn, then they'll just skip over you and they'll go to the next person.
Well, okay, so no, my idea is a little bit better. Of course, I think my idea is the best idea because it's my idea. What I think that should be done is do it a little bit different. So if they say, okay, next Thursday, we're going to release 15,000 Vox, and we're going to do it in three tiers, 5,000 per. First tier is 30,000 Vox. Second tier is 20,000 Gala Forum, and final tier is 8,000. Okay. You can go and you can buy one ticket at a time ahead of time for the Vox box with no quantity box to even pick from. You can buy one, pay the gas for it. If you want another one, guess what? You go buy another one. But it'll slow people down. You do this ahead of time. And then on release day, they start releasing them at their own pace so that way everything doesn't get clogged, congested, and they can control the gas fees. Because with ERC 1155, batch minting is the whole reason it exists, which substantially lowers the gas fee. So they could give the community the benefit of much lower gas, no more 3-minute sellouts, no more hassles, no more whatever. The people who have a lot of Gala that want to collect 8 or 10 of these things, great, but you're going to have to buy one at a time. And that way it gives everybody a much more fair chance to get something and to target what they want. And there's no big hurry. There's no big rush. It's not crashing their server, their store, or anything else. Are you on mute, Fazz?
I'm saying keep going. I'm doing 6 things at once here. This is
no, that's fine. But
this live is all messed up compared to how we normally do things.
Yeah, I like this better. This is fun. But
Can I hop in and say something real quick?
Go for it.
Of course.
We
Cool.
have people
I'm just
here.
I'm just a random person. I got the link on accident.
What's up, person?
Yeah, the thing that kind of pissed me off about the website crashing is, like, if they're hosting with a reputable cloud provider, like let's say AWS, you can crank it up to 11. You know what I mean? Like, it's not cost prohibitive for a company of that size to just crank it up to 11. And they obviously didn't, because when you crank up, like if you just use the most powerful AWS server, you don't get crashes like that.
It might not be a web server issue. I've worked for a number of cloud companies, and it might not be a web server issue. It could be like a database issue or some other connectivity. It could be how they connect to the blockchain or something like that. It could be a piece of middleware that isn't done right. And a lot of times, because they have so many things going on, you see they have a lot of partnerships that they've been announcing with Galaverse. So that's keeping the lights on. And I know a lot of companies don't always prioritize keeping the lights on with getting new business. And it's easier on the outside to have to be able to criticize that stuff. And I know they know it, but I think they're trying to make sure that they can keep things going in the future. That's the limit of my defense. Only that I've worked in one before. I bet it's not AWS, except
Fair
for when
point.
AWS crashes, like it did yesterday or the day before.
Well,
That's a fair
okay,
point.
so well, I will fight back on this because Gala at this point has more money than God. All right. At one point, we did some calculations, a group of us in one of the side channels, and we figured they were bringing in somewhere in the neighborhood of about 200 million a week in revenue. And this has been going on for about a year now. It wasn't always 200 million, but
They're taking that in crypto. Are they selling that in crypto? That
you
that's what,
know, well, regardless, they even if they're not selling it actively right this moment, they have probably 700,000 ETH sitting there that they could, if they needed to keep their lights on, they could take 5 ETH and sell it to keep their lights on. Okay. So to me, that's a non-excuse right there. And I agree. I don't know the technicals, of course, behind what Gala's running and how they're running it and how they connect the database. Fazz is right there. There could be a bottleneck with how they connect their APIs and different connections into making that store work. They may need some upgrades there, but again, then you have the this or that dilemma. Okay, well, we have people screaming and pounding on the tables. How come we don't have a working Mirandus? Well, all our devs are working on fixing the store, so they're not working on the game. And then when they go back over to the game and people are pounding on the desk, well, why isn't the website working? Okay, well, you can't have it both ways. They can't just go out and hire a bunch of yo-yos, sit there and poke buttons all day. They need to be selective on who they're going to put in those butts in those seats
and it
to
takes a
make it
while to
work.
balance. It takes a while to balance that stuff out. I think Townstar is actually a pretty good example here, because once you start getting, I don't know, a certain crop going, and maybe you're making cakes or pies or something like that, and then something gets hung up, and all of a sudden it's like the cakes require sugar, but of course none. But something got jammed up, and all your warehouses are full of fucking pumpkins because you have that haunted house thing. That's what happened to me. And then it can't get any cane from the silos or anything like that. And everything gets plugged up, and people are all bitching, and they're all right. And it's like, fix it. It's like, no, actually, what I have to do is dump half these fucking pumpkins. Then I have to start amping up the sugar production. And it's going to take 10 minutes to get it going. That's the same exact thing that happens in the company. They have something going on. They have to stop, change directions. And personally, I think they should cancel things a lot sooner. I think the last Vox drop, they just kind of powered right through it. And they're just like, we're going to get this. In my opinion, they probably just powered right through it, which might not have been the best decision. But, if they would have canceled, people would have bitched. When they continued, people bitched. So it's growing pains, and growing pains are painful. It's not an excuse. It's just what it is.
Well, and for the community aspect of it, kind of circling back a little bit there, I think Gala realizes that they have a gold mine. They're sitting on a gold mine right now. There's probably somewhere in the vicinity of 40 to 60,000 gamers who are either active on the Discord, or people in CFA, or YouTubers that are not only watching or making content, but watching content. And they have a goldmine of information on what it is that the players of these games want. And the problem is this is where I get into the too big, too fast thing. They're focused, they're kind of scattering their focus. They've got, oh my God, we're growing so fast. We've got these 6 partnerships now. We need to get 6 games out. Oh my God,
don't they
oh
have
my
like
God.
400 people now?
Yeah, it was 170 2 months ago. They had 170 employees 2 months ago. They're up to like 480. I mean, it's just like stupid. But they're scattering, and they're kind of they listened a lot closer in the March through July timeframe. And how I know that is a lot of the stuff that we talked about in our Discord here and on Fazz Radio suddenly made its way over to Gala Games. And the things that we were talking about were getting addressed, were getting fixed. So they were listening. And they had people who would watch our Discord and see what people said. And some of those things I saw got not fully, but
They are watching the CryptoFaz Discord. Anybody who says otherwise is lying. Of course, they're watching.
Yeah, I was telling Faz, I got money that a couple of these people are in disguise having another name. But the point is that they're getting so big right now that something has to give. And I hope that they don't stop focusing on the community and don't let that success go to their head. They already are pretty arrogant and pretty condescending with their level of success. So I'm hoping that they keep that community aspect strong and not get the attitude of, hey, we're so big now, we don't need that anymore. I'm really hoping that doesn't happen, because this is life-changing stuff. Okay. If you would have told me, well, Faz did, a year ago, that I would be sitting here and making more per month playing a game than I make at my day job, I told him he was crazy. And I laughed. I'm like, there's no way. This play to earn stuff, you're going to make like $1.50 a month if you're lucky. Wow, was I wrong. And so this is going to change not only how we do gaming going forward, but it's also going to change everything with how companies market their goods to other people. Faz had a great talk about that on one of our other Faz radios, about how it's going to impact a lot of other industries that can use the play to earn philosophy, play to earn model in their daily business. And it will change what a day job really means. A day job, you can earn a living for a family of 4 with play to earn if you do it right. And it gives opportunities to people who are less fortunate in other situations, especially with this renting capability for these NFTs, these whales. Okay, so the other part of this, I'll circle back quickly. When Gustavo, I hope you're still listening. When the whales go out and buy 10 of those Voxes, okay, they're not going to play 10 Voxes. There's just not enough room in these games, especially like Town Store. You have like 64 squares, and you've got to utilize that. They're not going to put 10 Voxes in there. They need room to grow sugarcane. So they're going to rent these out, and they're going to rent them to people who couldn't afford to buy them. And that's going to be able to provide people who don't have a lot of money with the opportunity to start earning some town coin or some Mirandus dollars. What is that? Materium that they're using to earn some Materium, to earn a lot of these tokens and make a difference in their lives. And so I really think that this is something that is going to explode, and you are part of something that is light years ahead of every other person doing it in this industry.
We need to bring that. We need to highlight that. I'm sorry to interrupt you. about the play to earn actually changing people's lives, because that was a fundamental reason why they made this company, why they decided to do play to earn, is because they in fact, I'll see if I can find the link and I'll post it in here and then post it on the chat and in this description below. But they actually made it so that people could make a living at this in different countries. Go ahead, Titan. Sorry, just wanted to add something.
No. Well, you guys know from other Fazz radios, once you get me going on something, I never shut up. So jump in and ask a different question or poke Fazz or something. If I start running my mouth too much, I don't want to bore anybody. But I'm just excited about this because I really, so again, in one of our private channels, I was talking about it today, and I was a huge skeptic. And even when Fazz first got into this, he calls me up on the phone. It was like 9 o'clock at night. And he's like, hey, there's this cool thing with nodes you can buy from this gaming company. And these nodes are going to run these games. And, it's like, X number of dollars per node and da. And I'm like, all right, well, first of all, what the fuck is a node? And so we go through this and I tell him, I'm like, man, this sounds like a total scam. I mean, it really does. How do you know these people? And he's like, yeah, I'm really concerned. They talk about accredited investors. And when I went and asked them what that was, they didn't even know what that was. And I'm like, oh my God, how much money did you give them?
I was asking the wrong person. and that was the thing. They didn't have their story straight and their shit together. They did get it together after a while, but at first they didn't.
Yeah. And I mean, I've been highly skeptical all the way through this. And I finally decided, because I realize, I pick on Fazz all the time, and the guy is just insanely smart. And I'm like, he would not be dumping money into this and believe in it so much if it really wasn't something really good. I said, so I'm gonna go into this. I'm gonna, get into the node ecosystem. I'm gonna buy some of these tokens and let's ride this out and see what the heck happens. So here we are a year later, and up until June or July, I was a hardcore skeptic. You've heard me talk about it in the rooms and text and on our show here. And I've always kind of said the same thing. I want to see results. I want to see not bullshit results. I want to see actual results, and then I'll buy into it. And I'm seeing it every day when I play Townstar. And I expected, even going into Townstar, I'm like, man, this thing's going to crash. I'm not going to get my fucking town coin. I'm going to have to fight with people. Oh my God. And it's just butter. I mean, just right on through, no problems, no issues. And I was really impressed. So since July, while I will never be a fanboy, my level of trust has not gone down any further. It's gone up maybe a slight tick. I don't trust them 100%. I don't trust anybody 100%. That's what blockchain is for. But they're showing results. They're making progress. We're seeing changes. There was one Gala person that we know very well, who shall remain nameless, that finally took some of the advice we had tried to hammer into their head for a very long time. And suddenly a lot of the marketing messages were changed, and a lot of the old documentation that I felt could be misinterpreted very easily was changed and
I don't think
updated.
they'd admit it. They never referenced us directly. I don't think they'd admit it. They'll say it was their idea.
And whatever. But you know what? That's what I ask for in an organization, is to just be honest, be truthful, do the right thing. And I don't think it was done intentionally, but when something like that's brought to your attention, you got to fix it. And it took a while, but they're making progress, which is what I like to see, and that's why I'm here now. And I hate to sound like I defend them now, but I I have a whole new level of understanding now than I did 6 months ago. So I hope they continue on that path. So live streams per month. We used to do some live streams. We did them for a while
And we had
because
no people really chatting, and so we
yeah.
got a few people.
So it we started this at the beginning of the year. We had no idea what we were doing. Neither one of us had ever done a podcast before. We fumbled through it. We try experiments with things all the time. We did live a couple of times. We didn't have very many people on live, and then we'd go look at the metrics and be like, yeah, well, 47 people listened to it, but we didn't have anybody live. We're like, screw it, we're not doing live anymore. But maybe we were doing it at the wrong time. We usually do it on Saturday afternoons, and maybe people are busy doing their weekend stuff with their family, whatever. So if you guys have suggestions, we'd love to do these live ones, as well as
Easier to
just do
put together.
recordings. Yeah, they are.
Get on the horn and
No,
start talking.
yeah, no editing required. Faz hates working. He likes doing things that put money in his pocket, and editing is not one of those things. So it's we do one a week, and we try and release one a week, and we try and keep the shows geared towards what's going on, what we're hearing on CFA in the community rooms. We have a lot of this too, as Faz mentioned, we've tried not to cater to Gala a lot lately. Not on purpose, not because we're mad at them, but we want people who come here for Gala to understand that the purpose of CFA is not to be Gala Junior. Okay, we're here to educate people on crypto, to bring them to a new level. We have rooms on emerging cryptos, deeper dives into cryptos, taxes, all kinds of stuff. We want to introduce people to a lot of the other sides. We just happen to be Gala fans.
My goal, honestly, to be dead honest, was to steal people away from the Gala Discord and have them come to mine. And I don't care if they go back there or not. It just so happens that you can't talk about some things on the Gala Discord because that's kind of not cool. And we can talk about whatever the hell we want on mine. So people come over and they talk about ROI and everything they feel the need to. So we get a lot of Gala people. However, I'm really trying to trick you guys into looking at how to buy crypto, how to determine what's good and bad, seeing what new cryptos are out there, and so on.
I mean, we're not here to commercialize things. When in the emerging cryptos room, when Faz or I toss out a token, or anybody tosses out a token, we ban referral links. We don't want people making money off of that stuff. We don't even do it. It's not like we're hypocrites there.
We'll mention stuff, but I want to say we're not plugging a crypto. It's like, hey, look what I found. Why don't you guys look into it and tell me what you think of it? That's what I think. And then a lot of times people come back and they're like, wow, that's cool. And I'm like, okay, I'll get some.
All right. Everybody has their own way of doing things. So we try and share with others what we bump into and what we learn about. And when people find cool stuff, I'll take off. And that's why you see me dead in the CFA room for days on end, because somebody would be like, oh man, look at this bridge. You can go from ETH to Polygon and buy stuff cheaper with no gas fees. So I spent like 2 days. I threw some ETH in a separate wallet that I made just for playing around so I don't screw up my whole balance. And I went over and I figured out how to work the ETH to Poly bridge and play around with that. And people talk about these Binance Smart Chain and Pancake Swap and stuff. I'm like, well, shit, I better learn how to do that. So I made another wallet and I threw some BNB in there and went over and started playing on Smart Chain and playing on Pancake Swap. And it's it's fun. I love crypto, and
And actually, everybody else that investigates stuff, they'll go use some other weird swapping thing, and they'll be like, "Oh, don't use this one. This one's a scam." And I'm like,
right.
"Oh, good. I'm glad we have people coming over to tell me this." And then what I do a lot of times, I'll go investigate it. It's like, okay, what's the deal? And a lot of times, people say something is the scam because they got it wrong, they screwed up, or they're just not good at crypto. And it's like, oh, you actually need to do this. And then they're like, oh, okay, well, this is actually pretty cool. So it's just us figuring out how crypto works.
Yeah, and we are on an adventure, and all of you are along for the ride, and that's why we engage everybody as much as we can here. To kind of bring back the purpose of our show today being live was to kind of highlight Gala a little bit, talk a little bit about what the community had thought. So if you guys have any other questions, fire away. Otherwise, we're already running at an hour here, and I've got to go get a refreshed cocktail and try and relax a little bit tonight. But fire away.
Iron Finance, never heard of that one.
No, I haven't heard of that one either.
I'm quickly Googling.
Right?
Somebody got Cryptonautic got destroyed in Iron Finance.
We had somebody
decentralized and multi-chain DeFi.
I wonder. I haven't heard. What was the name? Riddick. He did the strong nodes.
Yeah,
I haven't heard.
In a while.
Yeah, I haven't.
Over and crow about how much money he made in Strong, and then he's not here anymore. Is he losing money in Strong?
No, he's here. I've seen him over in the Gala server too. Let's see. Strong price. Where are we at with that? Coin market cap. 437. Hey, that's not a bad buy, and it was up to like 700 at one point. That one, it's a big money maker, but the problem is you only make money when other people are putting money into it. Is what we found out. So you have to sell high and buy low and get enough nodes going to where you can wait it out and have enough income to hold until the next pump. So I guess they were opening up. They were saying they were opening up to like what it is a strong node is kind of like a from what we discovered on it. We did a bunch of research. It's kind of like a secondary node system for other chains. So they have all these chains like ETH and I hate calling them layer twos, but side chains of ETH. And you run these transactions like the strong node is kind of like a secondary ETH miner. And the miners make money, and that gets distributed through the strong token. It's pretty complicated, but that's the basic premise on that one. And if you don't use it right, and that's where the research comes in, and you hear me harping on research constantly in CFA. If you don't do your research, you will get wrecked owning a strong node if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know what that purpose is. So just because sometimes you get wrecked in a crypto, if, as Fazz said, if you're not using it right, if you don't understand how it works and what the purpose of what you're buying into is for, it could be a fantastic project, but you're just not using it right. And that's where we say, throw your research and what you've done and everything, throw it into the emerging cryptos or throw it into a deep dive. You'll find 5, 6, 7 people who will jump on that and poke around and give you some opinions. And it's a fantastic thing. We want that open platform for stuff like that.
Town has just jumped to 99 cents from, it was like 89 when we started an hour ago. We have another.
Hey, we're pumping the town price.
Guy named Frenchie tried to join, but it says device is not connected. So sorry, Frenchie. You made yourself the weakest link here.
Guess you filled up the room. Good job.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so I'm hearing a couple people saying that they actually think this this live thing is cool, and I kind of like it because it's less work for me. So, I mean, if we can start doing this maybe on a Sunday night, I mean, is the reason people are listening right now only because they're like, why? Because they're watching Galaverse or something? I mean, I'd like to know a time slot to hit then.
Yeah, we'd probably have to play with it, but wait a minute. Titan token. That's my token. I got to get a Titan token.
I was thinking about doing a Fazz token.
You should. We can attach it to the Discord and have people use it to get special privileges and more bugs.
Maybe it's well, I know that once Mirandus comes out and Echoes of Empire, I've bought land in both of those, so I plan to name those. So I hope to capitalize off my Discord success to get people to come to my towns and planets and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's this? Please continue this. Gala Discord banned the phone chat when Vox Mirandus was. Yeah, I recall seeing that. I saw like 1 billion people in that phone chat, and I didn't even listen in, but I bet it was people shit talking then or something.
You know what? That's what we should target is the next time they do a major drop like that, we'll do a live show during it.
We should do
and
that.
We'll do the commentary as it goes down.
Okay, if we can bring the popcorn. I like this.
Oh my God, that would be
oh
fantastic.
my God, look what they're doing now. Oh no, stop. No. Guys.
That's terrible. But yeah, that would be a good idea as well. And if you guys, let's see. So what rumor? What I haven't been there in a while. Yeah, what channel do we have where they can dump ideas for what to talk about maybe on a live stream or something?
Fazz Discord suggestions.
Yeah, you do. You got that. But I thought didn't we have another one?
Yeah, but then people started getting on me about having too many channels, and so I got rid of them. So there's Fazz Discord suggestions.
Whoever did that, you need to fire him.
He needs to keep his thoughts to himself.
That was me, wasn't it?
I'm not going to name names. That would be rude. I don't mind if people self-identify, though.
You did have too many channels at one point. There was like 9 people in the Discord, and you had 47 channels. So, I'm like, dude.
By the way, I'm not making any money off of this Fazz Radio, not making any money off of CryptoFaz Academy. Well, not directly. Kind of indirectly I am, because I'm learning about all sorts of stuff that people are telling me about. So, yes, I am getting money just by having it, but that's because I'm doing it. So, you guys could make money the same way. Just communicate with each other on the chat. Tell each other about how things are. Tell us what you want to see on the Discord so we can make it easier for you to get what you want. This is what
win-win all the way around.
This is what I wanted when I got into crypto in 2017. I wanted a Discord to talk to people about crypto, but all the Discords I had gotten on until I made mine were just about that project. There were no crypto Discords, and I think there's a couple now. There's a couple Bitcoin ones out, but they kick you off way too easily, and they have weird rules. So I don't know if there's any alternatives to CryptoFaz right now.
There is not. We're the originals.
So
the OGs.
We're an OG. Let's see. Is anybody? I see some more chats coming up. Yeah, I think there was like 50 people on the phone call, 50 or 100 people. But inviting people to this chat, this StreamYard chat, is actually a neat idea. I did it by accident today, but I'd like to do it more. And
we got to get people. We got to get some voice. Yeah, you get some voice going as well as the text for those who have the gumption to talk. We can have a good conversation. What I don't want is I don't want to be like all over the place. So we would probably want I mean, it's okay. We can do separate ones for that, but pick a general theme of what we're going to talk about, and we can bounce around in there all day long. I'm really good at that. I can go down any wormhole anybody has.
Well, I like that we talk about things about the situation. Like we brought up the Galaverse stuff and a few things that they talked about. Like, I think it's awesome that they have more games coming out and they have more NFTs coming out. I don't really feel like defending their business model. A lot of times people come over to CryptoFaz and say, well, how do you do this? How do you do that? Why does Gala do this? Why does Gala do that? I don't know. I do things differently. And I don't want to trash talk them either, because I rather like them. I have friends over there, and I don't want to make things unhappy or weird or strained. It's just they are what they are. But I do hope to give people a realistic idea of how any project's going to work. Gala is going to look out for Gala. Gala is a company that sells NFTs, and they happen to reward you with Gala and Towncoin. They're not selling you those things. They're rewarding you for running nodes and playing a game. They don't owe you anything. It's not an employer relationship. It's a reward relationship. So this is so new. I think people don't know what to think of it, and they might not even know exactly what to think of it. But it's new and unique.
That's an excellent way to put it. Being critical and being an asshole are two different things, right? I think Faz hits that on the nose. So we can talk about issues that come up, but let's not turn this into
A hate fest.
Yeah, we don't want that on the CFA. We don't allow for that there. We're not going to allow for it on here. But when there's
I'm happy
legitimate
to be
concerns and
honest.
questions, yeah,
I
right.
want to be honest about it. I'm going to say they
Absolutely.
tripped and they messed up, and I think that should be pointed out. That's the only honest thing to do. But at the same time, you've got to say, look, they actually have it kind of hard. And it's like everybody's like, well, wow, they have so much money, they can do this, they can do that. Yeah, they're taking a lot of big risks with that money that we're not doing. Anybody with a lot of money in crypto is taking a big risk just by dealing with what Gary Gensler, the chief of the SEC, could come along and make all this stuff go away like that. That wasn't a good snap. Like that. So that's one of my worries about crypto is Gary Gensler calling these game tokens a security, and that's going to change the whole ball game overnight.
Oh, well, you know why Bitcoin dumped, right? You saw the article that came out?
No.
The SEC in the Ripple case, they put out a statement and said, we have never ruled on the fact that Bitcoin and Ethereum are not securities.
But they've said it all the time.
No, they said that was assumed from what people had gathered, and they put out that I tried to save the original quote. I'll have to dig it up.
And then people on Twitter showed 50 God million times that the chief of the SEC, Jay Clayton, and then Hinman, and other people said, we at the SEC don't find Bitcoin to be a security. They've said this many times.
Yeah, now, but it wasn't in an official
capacity.
The SEC
is technically right when they say that they haven't codified it in any sort of policy. But it seems to me the whole point of the SEC is just to make you afraid. It's like you better watch your back.
Don't they extort money out of people is all they do.
They scare money out of people, basically.
Oh my God, BitBoy! Don't even talk to me about BitBoy. I was.
Oh, we have a BitBoy hater here.
No,
he has a bit of a. I don't know. I don't think he seems to know. Sorry, BitBoy. I don't think he seems to know as much about crypto as he says.
No. Okay, so the guy is a shill for money.
Conversations, maybe than
he's a shill for money. If you want something mentioned on his show, you pay $10,000 to him. If you want something in writing, you want a Discord shout out, it's $2,500. If you want something mentioned on his live show, you got to pay $25,000. Yes.
Wow.
And I wondered about that, and they got exposed not too long ago when this journalist contacted him about something and got one of his stupid interns sent out a format in writing, I guess, what his pricing was for that stuff. And everybody was like, what the hell? So unfortunately, to me, that wrecks credibility because it was a paid show.
Well, I'm not going to defend him but I am, because I find him to be not very informative. I find him to be more hypey, but it probably is a business for him, and he has a number of people, manning various positions there. I mean, it's a lot of these YouTube channels are business.
Understandable, but to me, okay, so then
What if we got 1,000, 50,000 subscribers? Wouldn't you be thinking differently about Fazz Radio? I mean, wouldn't you start thinking about how's it going to pay the bills?
No, that's fine. I mean, if we want to make some money on it, great. We can do some sponsored content with Ledger Wallet or whatever the case may be, but we're going to do a commercial about it and people are going to know it's a commercial. We're not going to take and twist Ledger in to the middle of a conversation and pump it on the sly because they paid us $25,000 to do it. To me, that's unethical. And I don't appreciate that kind of stuff. You can pay for commercials, but let the listener know it's a commercial. It's a paid commercial for that, or they're sponsoring the show. Ledger is sponsoring this show. And to my knowledge, I haven't watched a ton of his stuff. I've seen some blurbs here and there, but I've never heard those disclosures being made. And to me, that's very unethical.
That reminds me, I should probably put my should probably fill out all the stuff in the description below to say that we're not sponsored by anybody.
Right. Yeah, our opinions are our own. Nobody buys our thoughts.
So we probably should wrap this up. I was trying to wrap this up a while ago, but then I distracted myself. I actually do have some other, like 3 Fazz radios we did that I got too busy to edit, so those might come out at some point in the future. But I'm happy to do more of these lives.
Very cool. All right, let's make like a tree and go do something else.
And get out of here. All right, thanks a lot, guys, for coming. This was really cool. I appreciate you coming and making this more fun.
All right, take it easy. Thanks, guys.
See how I can shut this thing off.